So good evening, everyone, and welcome to New York Buddha Dharma. My name is John Baker, and we're discussing the myth of freedom, and we're on Chapter 4, Working with the Emotions, for those of you who've done the reading. And I thought we'd start with a meditation, or actually a contemplation meditation tonight, that is appropriate to the content. So, if you would take a good posture, meditation posture. And let's start out by, we're going to do our regular meditation practice, and then we're going to do a contemplation on a powerful emotion. And so we'll start out by having good posture, which means having a straight back, especially wherever you're sitting, whether you're sitting on a cushion or in a chair, and ideally your hips are above your knees, at the same level as or above, higher than your knees, and you're very relaxed. You can turn your head and make sure your neck is relaxed, and take a deep breath. And now with our eyes open and directed down at the ground, gaze is natural. You're not going swimmy, you're not sort of super focused, just a very natural gaze. Your breathing is completely natural, you don't control it. And we're aware of the environment that we're in, the whole room, which means that there are sights, floor, cushions, people, furniture, sounds of my voice, and perhaps things that might come to us from the street, bodily sensations when those come to your awareness. No smell or taste, probably. And of course there are the occasional mental events, thoughts, and emotions that pass through our minds. And our awareness is just here in the room, in this space, very easily, relaxed, effortlessly. You can let it fill the room. And now, like a highlight in the middle of this open space, you're aware of the breath as it comes up, exits your nostrils. You can feel it as it goes out your nostrils. And then you visualize it going out into the room like a line drawn on a piece of paper. The paper is this space, and the line is your breath. And the line goes out far, and then it dissolves. And there's just a gap. You're just right here. And then the breath comes up, it exits your nostrils, it goes out into the space, it goes out far, and it dissolves into the space, which is what your breath does. And then you're just right here. And the breath comes up, goes out into the space like a line drawn on water, dissolves, and there's just this space, this present moment. And the breath comes up, goes out, dissolves, and here we are. So we'll just do that for a few moments. When thoughts arise, you just note them. You can, if you wish, label them thinking, doesn't matter, but you don't treat them as enemies or bad. You just see them, and when you're aware that you're thinking, well, you've woken up from that particular little dream, and you just let it go, and you come back to the breath, and going out into the space of this very present moment, dissolving, and here you are. So if you're thinking, observe it, see it, perhaps note what particular kind of thought is arising in your mind at this particular moment. Let it go. Come back to the breath as it comes up from your abdomen, exits your nostrils, goes out into the space like a line on a piece of paper, dissolves, and we're just right here in the room, in the present moment. And the breath comes up like a highlight, it goes out, dissolves, and here we are. And now we're going to do a contemplation. So out of this space that we're in, we're going to create a story. And the point is to experience an emotion. And there are two aspects to every emotion. One is the story that is told about it, and the other is the energy. So for instance, you might be angry at someone who has wronged you, and you tell yourself the story of what they did, and it makes you angry and you feel the heat of the anger. Or you might be depressed about something that you had but you've lost, and you tell yourself the story about how you once had this thing and now you don't, and how your life is the poorer for it, and you feel the sorrow of that loss. Or you might be telling yourself about some delightful thing that you have just received and how happy you are or going to be, and you tell yourself that story and you feel that happiness and delight. Whatever it might be, those two aspects. And I would like you to contemplate a story like that that's important in your life right now, full of story, conceptualization, and the energy that goes along with that. The energy of anger or sorrow, depression, regret, envy, jealousy, pride, whatever it might be, that the energy of that fills up and permeates the story that you tell yourself. And just contemplate that for a few minutes. something familiar. Now I want you to be aware of these two aspects, the story aspect and the energy, the feeling that permeates the story. The feeling is like water and the story is like the paint that you put in it. And I want you to cut the story, stop telling yourself the story, and just dwell or just contemplate, feel that feeling that is left when you cut through the story and let it go. The feeling of the emotion that was aroused. Find out where it is in your body. Locate it. Be aware of it. You might say, meditate on it. Be with it. The story might have been words, it might be a picture or pictures, might be a combination, memories of past events, imaginings of future ones. And you let them go, and you just feel that feeling that's left, wherever it may be in your body. And now you'll probably be finding that the feeling fades and you very naturally come back to awareness in the present moment. And when you're finished with the contemplation, you just come back to the breath, going out, dissolving, and resting. You rest here in the present. The breath comes up, goes out through your nostrils, dissolves, and here you are. So I think we can end now.